She hadn't spoken to anyone in days, until the yellow Lamborghini stopped at the curb. "Don't get in the car!" she screamed. And just like that, the millionaire's whole world paused. Ava sat cross-legged on the concrete beside a bus bench, her back pressed against the sun-bleached pole. One bare foot was wrapped in a sock, the other exposed, heel cracked, toes curled from the cold. A paper cup sat beside her knee, dented, smeared with fingerprints, containing nothing but a plastic spoon, bent and clenched in her fist. The spoon tapped lightly against the cup. Tap, tap, tap. Pause. Tap. The city didn't see her. Not really. It rolled past with its horns and heels and hot espresso breath, fast as blinking. Across the street, a yellow Lamborghini purred at the curb, its engine too sleek to growl, too proud to shout. A Starbucks line spilled onto the sidewalk, all phones and fidgeting. A man in a slate suit passed Ava without slowing. Move. Not loud, but firm, like he was flicking off lint. He didn't look at her. Most didn't. Her face didn't react, but her lips moved after him. Just one word. Don't. She pulled her jacket tighter. It had once been army green, now frayed and patchy. A button was missing. In the window across the street, condensation ran down the glass of a bakery case. Ava wasn't watching the pastries. She watched the drip lines. Slow, quiet, like something falling and never stopping. The bus she wasn't getting on coughed, hissed, and rumbled away. Her reflection flickered in its windows for a second, then was gone. 59, 20, 13, she whispered. Her fingers tapped her knee again. Tap, tap. Pause. Tap. She turned on the tap, ran her hands under the water, lips pressed into a line. Soap. Rinsed. She wiped them on her jeans. The waitress caught her by the elbow as she passed. Restrooms are for paying customers. Her grip was thin, but her voice was tired in a practiced way. Ava didn't argue. She just nodded, stepped back, eyes down. By the door, a little boy dropped his juice box. It rolled toward her. She bent, picked it up, held it out. The mother yanked him close. No, no, honey, leave it. Ava didn't blink. She held the box a moment longer, then set it on the floor, upright. Back outside, the sunlight had shifted. Waigikir, she ducked around the corner, knelt beside a storm drain. Her hand slipped into her jacket pocket and pulled out a folded square of paper, creased, worn, faintly coffee-stained. Sheet music. She brushed the dirt off with her sleeve. Her eyes scanned the notes. Some were faded. She hummed softly, almost a whisper, lips barely parted. A Chopin piece, slow and sad, played in her memory. Don't forget, she breathed. No one heard. A block away, near a pile of worn clothes and soda cans, a chipped ceramic mug sat beside a donation bin. World's best, Dad, it read in faded blue. She picked it up, polished it with the edge of her jacket. One side was cracked down the middle like a lightning scar. She placed it carefully next to her paper cup, like a boundary marker. People passed it without noticing. The engine of the yellow Lamborghini revved once, then softened back into its smooth purr. Its door lifted up like a wing. A man stepped out, mid-30s, hoodie that probably cost more than a month's rent in half the city, sneakers bright enough to bounce sunlight. He held his phone high, FaceTiming. Yeah, I'm here. Sunset and Vine. Doing that give-back thing again. You know, press photo. Maybe a story if it looks good. His voice was too casual, too practiced. He glanced across the street. His eyes met Ava's for half a second, then slid away like she was graffiti. She didn't move, just blinked. Ava turned when a couple with fanny packs and a map paused near her, looking lost. "Excuse me," the woman said. Do you know where the Walk of Fame starts?" Ava pointed without hesitation. "2 blocks down. Look for the pink stars in the sidewalk. Can't miss it." The man smiled, half apologetic, and reached into his pocket. "Here, She cut him off. "Not everything's for sale." They hesitated, then walked on. She turned her gaze back to the car. Another figure was approaching it now. A girl, maybe 22. Wavy hair, short dress, heels too high for cracked pavement. Her walk was off, staggered, almost like she'd practiced confidence too long and forgot how to be unsure. "Ava, she don't want to get in that car." Then louder, stronger. "Don't get in the car." The sound split the sidewalk. The girl froze, looked back. Something flickered in her face. Fear, maybe, or recognition. Then she turned and ran. She pointed down at the sidewalk where the girl had stood. "She didn't want to go." The wind shifted. A siren wailed in the distance. Somewhere behind the scene, a bus exhaled. The man just stood there, his phone still in his hand, screen glowing. No one said anything. Then he turned, walked back to the car, got in. The door hissed shut. He drove off. No thanks. No words. Just gone. Ava sat down again, slowly, pulled her knees to her chest. The cracked mug sat beside her on the bench, catching the neon pink glow of a 7-Eleven sign blinking across the street. She hummed again, not louder, but clearer. The melody shaped itself in the dark, and the city kept moving. But something had shifted. Quiet, like the breath before music begins. The yellow car didn't come back the next day. But a man did. Not in a hoodie this time. No phone in hand. No engine announcing him. Just him, in a gray jacket, coffee in one hand, standing half a block away near the newspaper box that hadn't held newspapers in years. He didn't speak, didn't wave, just watched. Ava noticed. Of course she did. Her eyes flicked toward him once, then didn't again. She sat beside the bench, same as always, knees hugged tight, sheet music folded small and tucked in her jacket. Her fingers moved absently against her leg. Left, right, pause, left again. A piano pattern. No one could hear it but her. The next day, he came again. She didn't look up that time, just adjusted the sock on her bare foot, slow and deliberate, like tying a knot she didn't want to finish. Her breath was steady. The cracked mug rested next to her again, always in the same place, like a line she didn't want crossed. On the third day, she muttered something under her breath. Words, barely formed, like people don't just watch. She folded the music tighter, pressed it flat between her palms like it might disappear. They take, or they fix, or they run. She didn't know which one he was yet. Later that afternoon, she tried to use a computer in the library. She walked through the automatic doors with the quiet defiance of someone who'd already decided how they'd be treated. The clerk behind the desk didn't even look up from his monitor. Card. Ava shook her head once, then no access. She opened her mouth, closed it. Sorry. It's policy. His voice didn't carry a trace of sorry. Behind her, a group of students laughed, one of them outside, sitting on the library steps. She whispered, Sonata in C minor. Left hand only. Her fingers curled into fists. In her head, her father's garage smelled like motor oil and rain. The piano was chipped, black paint peeling on one side. Her father's fingers were rough and warm as he guided her hands along the keys. Even when it's loud outside, he'd said once, make your music louder inside. She'd nodded, like she understood. Then the knock came. Sharp. Fast. Foreclosure. Police. Dad. A teenage boy stood there holding out a sandwich wrapped in wax paper. His vest had a red cross on it. His sneakers were old but clean. He didn't look nervous. Didn't look at her like she was broken. You like music? He asked, nodding at the edge of the sheet sticking out from her pocket. She didn't answer. Just blinked. Then nodded. Once. He smiled, shrugged, and walked off. It was enough. The sun dipped low. Sidewalk shadows stretched long. A sudden shout split the quiet. A kid yelling, then a scream. A little boy, no more than 6, darted off the curb chasing a ball. A cyclist was coming fast, head down, earbuds in. Ava was up before she thought. Her body moved, fast and low. She grabbed the boy around the middle, twisted, and they both hit the ground just beside the curb. The bike skidded past, the rider swerving with a curse. The boy's mother screamed his name and rushed over. Oh my God, oh! She pulled him into her arms, breath shaking. Are you hurt? Ava sat up slowly. Her palms were scraped, elbow bleeding. Dirt streaked her jeans. She looked down at the boy, handed him his baseball cap. He wasn't looking, she said quietly. The mother looked at her then, really looked, and didn't say anything more. Across the street, near the same useless newspaper box, Calvin Rourke stood watching. That evening, he crossed over. You're not like the others. She didn't look at him. You think we come in types. He paused. His hands were in his pockets, his expression unreadable. You always this angry? He asked. Ava turned her head slowly, met his eyes for the first time that day. You always this fake, she said. They stood there, the question hanging heavy in the air between them. He didn't answer. Neither did she. The next morning, he left something beside the bench, a canvas bag. Inside, her lips moved along with it. South Side, she whispered. Just like Dad. Her eyes softened for half a second. 2 days later, at Union Station, she saw the piano. It stood in the corner of the open hall, unguarded, half covered in stickers and dust. She stared at it for a long time, unmoving. Then walked toward it, slow and deliberate. She cracked her knuckles. Sat. The mug was in her coat pocket. She took it out, placed it on the edge of the piano like a totem. Her fingers hovered above the keys. Then she played. It wasn't loud. It didn't need to be. The notes were clean, sure, rippling through the station like breath through stained glass. People stopped. Phones lifted. Someone gasped softly. Calvin was there. She didn't look at him, but she knew. He didn't speak, just watched. The final chord rang out and fell into silence. Ava sat still. Then she looked up. Alone again, but it didn't hurt this time. Not like before. She smiled, just a little. A week passed before someone approached her again. He wore corduroy slacks, thick glasses, and the expression of a man who measured his words before offering them. He stood a few feet away from the bench where Ava now sat, not on the ground, not curled up, but upright, spine straight, earbuds around her neck. "I saw you play," he said, voice soft but certain. "We have a program at the community center, for musicians, not formal, but real." He hesitated, pulled a business card from his coat. "No pressure. Just later, she's trying too hard to be deep." Ava didn't reply. She read them all, each word sharp like gravel in her shoes. Then she slid the phone back across the table, stood up, and walked away, humming Chopin under her breath. The tune came without thinking now. She passed the diner on her way back, the same one that once pushed her out like smoke through a vent. The same waitress stood outside, lighting a cigarette with hands that trembled slightly. She saw Ava, didn't flinch, just held out a small brown bag. "Turkey on rye," she said. "Hot. No onions." No apology, just that. Ava looked at the bag, then at the woman, took it gently. Their eyes met. That was enough. Down the block, Calvin leaned against a lamppost, phone in his pocket, hands empty. "I know people," he said when she neared. "Real programs, real housing, not charity. Just doors, if you want one." She studied his face. He wasn't performing this time. No FaceTime, no car, just an him. She tilted her head. "Why now?" He shrugged. "You told me not to get in the car." A breath left her, soft and strange, like she'd been holding it for weeks. She reached, just sat down and let go. When she looked at Calvin again, her eyes were clear. "I don't need saving." He nodded. "All right. But," she added, "you can help, if I say so." Another nod. She took the card he offered. Not the same as the first one. This one had names, emails, a phone number written in block letters. She didn't look at it, just slipped it into her pocket. Across town, the teen who once gave her a sandwich started painting a sidewalk piano. Bright colors, bold letters. "Play me." He got permits, set it near the metro. People started using it. One day, a girl sat down, young, nervous, hunched. She played haltingly. A passerby filmed it. The video went up next to Ava's. In the comments, "Music saves people." Weeks later, outside a gas station, a girl was being pulled toward a dark car by an older man. People hesitated, looked away. Then a voice cut through the street. "Don't get in!" A teenage girl, barely 16, stepping forward. The man cursed, backed off, sped away. The girl being pulled cried. The one who shouted stayed silent. When someone asked why she did it, she shrugged. "I saw this girl once. She saved someone, just by saying something." Sunset fell again. Warm light spilled across the bench. The same bench, same street, but different now. Ava sat on the bench, not on the sidewalk. In clean clothes, boots tied tight, a hoodie that fit. Headphones rested on her shoulders. No cup, no mug. Just her. Her fingers tapped a slow, steady rhythm on her knee. Music, always just beneath the skin. People passed. Some stopped. One sat beside her. Didn't say anything. Ava turned slightly, not surprised, just calm. She smiled, and in a whisper, more to herself than anyone else. "Maybe you don't need to be heard by everyone. just the right one.